This is a song I learned from an Irish singer named uh, Sean. The name escapes me, but I'll look it up. Anyway, it's called The Newry Highwayman. In Newry town I was bred and born, in Stephen's Green now I lie in scorn. I served my time at the settler's trade, and I always was a roving blade. At 17 I took my wife, and I loved her dearer than I loved my life. And for to keep her both fine and gay, I went a robbing on the King's Highway. I never robbed any poor man yet, nor any tradesman caused I to fret. But I robbed lords and their ladies fine, and carried the gold back to my heart's delight. In Covent Garden I took my way, with my dear wife for to see the play. Lord Fielding's men, they did me pursue, and I was taken by that cursed crew. My father cried, oh my darling son. My wife, she cried, I am undone. My mother tore her white locks and cried that in the cradle I should have died. When I am dead, I am for my grave. A flashy funeral, pray let me have 6 highwaymen for to carry me. Give them broadswords and sweet liberty. 6 pretty maids for to bear my pall. Give them white ribbons and green garlands all. When I am dead, they may speak the truth. He was a wild and a wicked youth.
Bravo, 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 bravo.
Well done, honey.
Thank you, thank you.
Hey, you have a built-in audience there, no fair.
That's all right, that's all right. Came by it fairly.
Okay, well, again, Cameron, we'll come back to you in a little while, but Doug's been here for 2 hours, so we want to get him on early. So, no, sorry, Art's been here. Art's been here for 2 hours. So, let's have Art, and then we'll have Doug. So, Art, I'm going to turn it over to you, and I'm going to mute everybody. Okay, it's all yours, Art.
When first to this country a stranger I came, I placed my affections on a maid that was young. She being sweet and tender, her waist small and slender, kind nature had framed her for my overthrow. On the banks of Banwater, where first I beheld her, she appeared like fair Juno or a Grecian queen. Her eyes shone like diamonds, her hair softly twining. Her cheeks were like roses or blood drops on snow. It was her cruel parents that first caused our variance, because I was poor and of a low degree. But I'll do my end to gain my love's favor, although she is come from a rich family. My name is Delaney, a name that won't shame me, and if I had saved money, I'd have plenty in store. But drinking and courting, night rambling and sporting are the cause of my ruin and absence from home. And I owe the money that's in the West Indies, or had I the gold of the African shore, I would spend it on pearls and on you, my brown girl. For there's no other love on this earth I adore. Take cheer, lovely Johnny, be light in your heart, for if you will prove loyal, then sure I'll prove true. There's no one superior will ever gain my favor. On the banks of Banwater I will tarry with you. Now since I have gained her, I'm contented for life. I'll put rings on her fingers and gold in her ear. We'll live on the banks of the lovely Banwater, and in all sorts of splendor I will style her my dear.
Very nice, Art. Thank you. Do you know the name of that tune by any chance?
It's called Banks of the Ban, Bann.
Because it's very much like "Be Thou My Vision" tune, which I think is an Irish tune way back when. And David will know the answer to this, but
The tune title is Slain.
that's it. That's it. Yeah. Hanko, that's very pretty. All right, let's move along to Doug, and I will unmute everybody. And
Okay. What I'd like to do is do a duet with Lynn, and if you'd unmute her, then we will trade parts on this song.
Okay, let's see what's the easiest. I'm going to mute everybody, then you two can unmute yourself. So there we go. Okay, here we go. Mute everybody. Okay, please unmute yourselves for the duet. There we go. Perfect.
Thank you.
And
It's
Lynn-
kind of
Lynn picks
sequential
up.
singing across, because we're 5,000 miles apart, but it works. I am a poor wayfaring stranger, traveling through this world of woe. There is no sickness, toil, or danger in that bright land to which I go. I'm going there to make my She said she'd meet me when I come. I'm only going over Jordan. I'm only going over home.
I know dark clouds will gather round me. I know my way is rough and steep, but beauteous fields lie out before me, where God's redeemed their vigil keep. I'm going there to meet my Father and all my loved ones who've gone on. I'm only going over Jordan. I'm only going over home.
I want to wear that crown of glory when I get home to that good land. I'm going to sing a redemption story forever with the angel band. I will be there to greet my children. I know in time they're coming home. Oh, I'm just going over Jordan. I'm only going over home.
I'll soon be free of earthly trials. This body rest in the old churchyard. I'll leave this cross of self-denial, and I'll go singing home to God. I'm going there to meet my Savior. I'll dwell with him and never roam. I'm only going over Jordan. I'm only going over home. I am a poor wayfaring stranger, traveling through this world below. There'll be no tears, no more sad partings in that bright land to which I go.
I'm going there to meet my mother. She said she'd meet me when I come. I'm only going over Jordan. I'm only going over home.
I'm only going over home.
Okay, very good. That was the first. We've never had a 5,000-mile duet before. I thought you were actually going to sing together, and that would have been
That defeated all this.
improbable. But no, it's very nice.
Yeah, contrapuntal.
can't sing
Now
at the same time.
you're welcome to do another one because there's a slot for you did half a song each. So do you have another one to do at the moment, or do you want to come back?
Would you
I
mind if
I have a Texas song.
Take it.
Uh,
Let
my,
me
my,
mute. Let me
my
mute
dad.
everybody. Just a
Yeah.
minute. There we go. Okay, need to unmute. It's all yours.
Thank you for the opportunity to say a couple of words about the great state of Texas. My dad was born in Lamar County. And this one, I'm sure the Texas Rangers' mother was Irish from the way the song is structured and the melody. Come all you Texas Rangers, wherever you may be. I'll tell you of some troubles that happened unto me. My name is nothing extra, so that I will not tell. And here's to all you Rangers, I'm sure I wish you well. 'Twas at the age of 17 I joined the Jolly Band.
Oh, sing a duet. One's in Leeds.
Hello? 'Twas at the age of 17 I joined the Jolly Band. We marched from San Antonio down to the Rio Grande. Our captain, he informed us, perhaps he thought it right. Before the station, boys, you'll surely have to fight. And when the bugle sounded, our captain gave command. To arms, he shouted, and by your horses stand. I saw the smoke ascending, it seemed to reach the sky. And then the thought it struck me, my time had come to die. I saw the Indians coming, I heard them give a yell. My feelings at that moment no human tongue can tell. I saw their glittering lances, their arrows round me flew, and all my strength had left me, and all my courage too. We fought for 9 hours fully before the strife was o'er. The like of dead and wounded I never saw before. And when the sun had risen and the Indians they had fled, we loaded up our rifles and counted up our dead. And all of us were wounded, our noble captain slain. The sun was shining sadly across that bloody plain. 16 of braver Rangers as ever rode the west were buried by their comrades with arrows in their breast. And now my song is ended, I guess I've sung enough. The life of any ranger, you see, is very tough. And if you have a mother that don't want you to roam, I advise you by experience, you'd better stay at home.
Thank you for that. Thank you for that. Sorry about the interruption. We've got a bit of a storm going on in Austin right now. It's messing up my signal. That was
Excuses.
beautiful.
Thanks all.
That was very good. If Lynn, we can wait till next time round and you do another duet maybe, and then another song. We'll keep moving here. I'm actually up next, so I'm gonna take this thing. Karen will be after me. I'm gonna mute everybody.
Will you introduce it with the history?
Okay.
If I disappear, the storm has got me. So someone else carry on. This is a song by Hamish Henderson. My father was a medical orderly in World War II. He was stationed on the island of Sicily in 1943, where they basically massed a bunch of Allied troops before the big push into Italy. And Hamish Henderson collected this song. He was a linguist, intelligence corps guy, poet. He collected this song, and it's basically about there was a lot of friction between the pipers and the drummers in the 51st Highland Regiment. And it's kind of in Scots English, but I think you get the drift of it. One line says, all the bright charmers are eerie, charmers are chambers. But it's called The Banks of Sicily. The piper is dozy, the piper is fey. He will not come round for his vino the day. The sky o'er Messina is unco and grey, and oh, the bright charmers are eerie. Fair will ye banks of Sicily, fair ye will ye valley and shore. There's no jock will mourn the kyles of your poor bloody squaddies are weary. Fair will ye banks of Sicily, fair ye will ye valley and shore. There's no helm can smother the wiles for your poor bloody squaddies are weary. Then doon the stairs and line the waterside, wait your turn, the ferries are war. Then doon the stairs and line the waterside, oh, the bright charmers are weary. The drummer is polished, the drummer is braw, he cannot be seen for his webbing a war. He's bees himself up for his photo and all, to leave with his Lola, his dearie. Farewell, ye dives of Sicily, fare ye will, ye shieling and ho. Will a mine shabines and bothis, where kind senoritas were cheery. Farewell, ye banks of Sicily, fare ye will, ye shieling and ho. Will a mind shabines and bothis, where Jock made a date with his dearie. Then tune the pipes and drop the tenor drum, leave your kit this side of the wall. Then tune the pipes and drop the tenor drum, oh, the bright charmers are weary. Farewell, ye banks of Sicily, fare ye will, ye valley and shore. There's no jock will mourn the kyles of your poor bloody squaddies are weary. Yeah, Ebony was banned for 10 years from the BBC for collecting that song and performing it. So there you go. All right, moving right along. Karen is next, and I will mute everybody. Okay, Karen, all yours.
Okay, David's going to introduce this.
So this was from the Carter family. It's an American song, but it's obviously a version of the Newry Highwayman that I sang before. They called it The Rambling Boy. And obviously It's a lot changed from the original, but it's still recognizable as a American version of the Irish song.
Count it out. Count it out.
1, 2, 3.
Oh, I'm a rake and rambling boy. Through many a city I did enjoy. And there I married me a pretty little wife. And I love her dearer than I love my life. She was pretty, both neat and gay. Caused me to rob the broad highway. I robbed it, I do declare. Got $10,000 there. Pretty dry goods to carry me through. My natural sword lined by me too. My 44, she never fails. My true love come for to go my bail. My mother says she has no home. My sister says she's all alone. My wife, she's left with sad despair, with a broken heart and a baby bear. When I die, don't bury me at all. Just place my bones in alcohol. Or by my feet, just let them know I am just asleep. Oh, I'm a rake and rambling boy. Through many a city I did enjoy. There I married me a pretty little wife, and I loved her dearer than I love my life.
Yay!
Oh, yes. Long live
Very
that.
good. Everyone is free to unmute and applause at the end of each of these songs.
Yeah,
You don't have
applauding
to.
away.
We assume the applause in our heads anyway, so it's okay.
You're free to do what you're told.
Which reminds me, we're now moving to Tom, a poet from the great unknown land, South Austin.
Terra Nullius, yes, South Austin, that's right.
I'm gonna mute everybody, then turn it over to you. Here we go. Mute all. Okay, Tom, all yours.
This is dedicated to David and Karen Polachek, who have brought Yeats back to life with incredible folk melodies. So here we go. Much respect for your respect. Yes, I have been to Ossie and the Bard's grave high on the Northern Ireland hills. I have been to the towers of James Joyce in Dublin and W.B. Yeats in Connemara. Was it Dean Swift's resting place with his mistress Stella also there? Much respect to those who lived so powerfully before, and to you who revere their accomplishments. You bring the poetry of Yeats, that English Irishman, back to life, but romantic islands dead and gone, before Sligo's gathering of folk tales to be distilled into lakes, isles, rivers, and streams, to the wild swans that cool in the Isle of Innisfree, the song of wandering Angus, and then to his muses beyond the fairies, Bran, allied to Isis, Urania, Selene, Demeter, his muses, unattainable, sensual, mythic, actual, and present. Yeats was steeped in theosophy, mysticism, both Irish and Indian. He knew the Vedas and the Upanishads. He used mescal and hashish. He believed in spirit voices and channeling, as did his wife Georgiana. Thus the second coming, playing in that tower in Connemara, and his Spiritus Mundi. As for politics, deeply conservative, Protestant, member of the fascist blue shirts. But when Ireland finally became independent in 1922, he wrote Easter 1916. He won the Nobel Prize. His poems then dealt with age and love's changes. When you are old and grey and full of sleep, he moved to Nice and died in 1939. His remains were taken back to Sligo. W.H. Auden wrote a tribute poem to him, declaring Yeats as a chronicler of the passing of an age. Horsemen passed by. Thank you, David and Karen, for keeping the memory alive.
Yay, Tom, thank you.
Yay, David. Thank you, Karen.
Thank you, Tom.
That was lovely, Tom.
Well,
You outdid yourself, and that's hard to do.
sorry about that. My apologies.
All right, thank you very much. Let's move on to Mary Jane, and I'll mute everybody else here. Mute all. Here we go. Okay, it's all yours. When
Okay, I'm going to do a ballad, it's actually a child ballad number 173, and I think these are supposed to be English, but this one is about something that happened in Scotland. So it's called Mary Hamilton and her relationship with a king. So seems like it's appropriate for the Celtic set today. Word is to the kitchen gone, word is to the hall, that Mary Hamilton is born a babe to the highest steward of all. Arise, arise, Mary Hamilton, arise and tell to me what thou hast done with thy wee babe. I saw and heard weep by thee. I put him in a tiny boat and cast him out to sea, that he might sink or he might swim, but he'd never come back to me. Arise, arise, Mary Hamilton, arise and come with me. There is a wedding in Glasgow town, tonight we'll go and sing. She put not on her robes of black, nor on her robes of brown, but she put on her robes of white to ride into Glasgow town. pretty for to see. Bailiff's wife and the provost's wife cried, "Ach, and alas for thee! Ah, you need not weep for me," she cried. "You need not weep for me. For had I not slain my own wee babe, this death I would not be. Ah, little did my mother think when first she cradled me, the lands I was to travel in, and the death I was to be. Last night I washed the Queen's feet and put the gold in her hair, and the only reward I find for this, the gallows to be my share. Cast off my gown, she cried, but let my petticoat be, and tie a napkin around my face, for the gallows I would not see. Then by and come the king himself, and looked up with a pitiful ease. Come down, Mary Hamilton, tonight you'll dine with me. Ah, hold your tongue, my sovereign liege, and let your folly be. For if you had a mind to save my life, you'd never have so shamed me. Last night there were 4 Marys, tonight there'll be but 3. There was Mary Beaton and Mary Seaton and Mary Carmichael and me.
Very good, very good, very good.
It's sad.
Yeah. Yeah, very good. I just happened to be looking up in this book on folk ballads.
Is it in there?
Yeah, I got this. Tom was handing out these free books, and I actually grabbed this one. According to this, it was not. I mean, the true story is every servant girl was called a Mary.
Is that right?
And that was during Mary's reign, a French attendant was executed for murdering a newborn child. So there's some truth to it. And then the same thing happened in Peter the Great's court in 1719, about 60 years later. So a lot of that going on, and they all get merged in the folk memory as one song. But it's a great song, and I think that particular song, Joan Baez got that from Jeannie Redpath, I think, or something. That was
Yeah, I think that's where I first heard it, why I knew the
Yeah.
tune. I was scrounging around and Rise Up singing for
Yeah.
something I thought I knew, and well, yeah, I think I remember this tune. So it sure has a lot of verses, though. I think it's the longest song I've ever done.
The child ballads were before TV and radio, and
Yeah, they go on and on and on and on
that
and
was
on.
your evening entertainment. Anyway, that
Yes.
was great. Very good. Thank you very much, Mary Jane. And let's take it up to the top again and over to David. And I will mute everybody. Just wait a minute,
Did
wait,
you
wait, wait,
notice
wait, wait, wait,
Vincent is
No,
here?
Vincent's here, so I'm gonna mute everybody. Turn over to Vincent, if you'd be so kind. It's all yours, Vincent.
Right. Bum, bum, bum. Well, the first of me rambles I now will sing, like any small bird or thrush on the wing. When the sun arose for to bless the land, where I was free and easy for to jog along. Well, the first place I rambled was to Derry Quay, just a few mile distance from Ballybuffet. They sat me down for to sing a song, where I was free and easy for to jog along. Well, the next place I went to was Glasgow Green, where lads and lassies were to be seen. But I was the blithest of all the throng, where I was free and easy for to jog along. Well, I had not gone but a very short space, when a nice wee girl, she smiled in my face. She asked of me, am I a married man? No, I'm free and easy for to jog along. Well, I took this wee girl into an inn. There we drank brandy, strong ale and gin. She asked of me, would I give her my heart and hand, and give her free and easy for to jog along. Oh, no, fair maiden, such things can't be, for I am bound for to cross the sea. When a man gets married, sure his race is run. He's no more free and easy for to jog along. Look at yonder stream, how it gently glides. It can go no further than it's allowed. It can go no further than it gets command. But me, I'm free and easy for to jog along. There we go.
Thank you, Vincent. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, and now we come back to the top of the table to David, and I will mute everybody. Okay, David, all yours.
I mentioned earlier. I mentioned that. Yeah. So Tom mentioned about us singing songs that were based on poems by W.B. Yeats. And so this is one of those that he mentioned. Yeats called it the Song of Wandering Aengus. The more popular name for it is the Golden Apples of the Sun. Now it's been sung for many years, but the tune that's used, I don't care for that much. So I set it to an old harp tune by Carolyn called John Irwin. And I think it's much better this way. I went out to the hazelwood because a fire was in my head. Cut and peeled a hazel wand and hooked a berry to a thread. And when white moths were on the wing and moth-like stars were flickering out, I dropped a berry in a stream and caught a little silver trout. When I had laid it on the floor, I went to blow the fire aflame. Something rustled on the floor, and someone called me by my name. It had become a glimmering girl with apple blossom in her hair, called me by my name and ran and faded through the brightening air. Though I am old with wandering through hollow lands and hilly lands, I will find out where she has gone and kiss her lips and take her hand and walk among long dappled grass and pluck till time and times are done. Silver apples of the moon, the golden apples of the sun, and walk among long dappled grass and pluck till time and times are done. Silver apples of the moon, the golden apples of the sun.
Beautifully done. Beautifully. Thank you, David, very much.
Thank you.
Bring Yates back to life with wonderful Carolyn.
Thank you for that. I'm going to change orders a bit. Doug has to go fairly soon, so if it's okay with you, Art, I'm going to have Doug go next. So, Doug, it's all yours. I will mute everybody. And
Thank you. I think we're making the shuffle so that Lynn can do another duet with me before I have to go. This, if we can unmute Lynn. There we go.
Especially since I have to start. Oh gosh, and I can't remember that note is. A D.
And again, she kicks it off.
One at a time. As I roved out one evening fair by the verdant braes of Skireen, I set my back to a hawthorn tree to view the sun in the west country and the dew on the forest green. A lad I spied by our wayside, and a maiden by his knee, and he was as dark as the berry brown wood, and she away and wonder sea, away and one was she.
Oh, sit you down on the grass, he said, on the dewy grass so green, for the wee birds all have come and gone, since I've my true love seen, he said, since I my true love seen.
Then I'll not sit on the grass, she said, nor be a love of thine, for I hear your heart's no longer mine, she said, and your heart's no longer mine. Oh, slowly burst the winter's nights, now early dawn the days, and it's many's a night I wished you here. Now I wish you were away, she said. I wish you were away. Nor I'll not heed what an old man says, for his days are nearly done. And I'll not heed what a young man says, for he's here today and gone, she said. He's here today and gone.
But I will climb a high, high tree, and I'll rob a wild bird's nest, and back I'll bring whatever I do find to the arms that I love best, he said, to the arms that I love best.
And he has climbed the high, high tree, and he's robbed the wild bird's nest, and back he brought a gay gold ring to the one that he loved best, he said, to the one that he loved best.
Now as I roved out one evening fair by the verdant braes of Skreen, I sat my back to a hawthorn tree to view the sun in the west country, and the dew on the forest green.
Moran Tang.
Very pretty.
Thank you so much. I will be back. I just have to run downtown.
Thanks for
Thank you all
coming.
very much.
Take care.
I'm going to, if Lynn, that's okay with you, I'm going to have Art go next and then have you sing a Gaelic song as you have promised me on the chat. So we will do that. Art, it's all yours.
Hey, David, I just want to say I absolutely love the choice of another song, another tune for Golden Apples of the Sun. It's absolutely beautiful. I was wondering, could you write the name of the song you set it to in the chat so I could copy it down and look? Thank you, I
Is
appreciate
that
it.
us?
Oh, list to the lay of a poor Irish harper, and scorn not the strings of his old withered hand. But remember those fingers could once move more sharper to waken the echoes of his dear native land. Oh, I long for the muse on the days of my boyhood, though fourscore and 3 years have fled by since then. Still it gives sweet reflections, as every young joy should, that merry-hearted boys make the best of old men. And wake or at fair I would twirl my shillelagh, and trip through the jig in my brogues bound with straw. And all the pretty colleens from the village and the valley knew the bold Philip Brady, the bard of Armagh. And when Sergeant Death in cold arms shall embrace me, oh, lull me to sleep with sweet Erin go Bragh. By the side of my Kathleen, my own love, then place me, and forget Philip Brady, the bard of Armagh.
Very good. I had images of dead cowboys in that song for some reason. I don't know why. But
Streets of Laredo.
yeah, that was very good. Excellent song. Well, what's the title of that song, Art?
Uh, Bard of Armagh,
Bard of
Armagh.
Of course, yes. Yes, that tune got used a lot, various versions of it over history. So very good. Okay, let's go to Lynn, and you would everyone mute, just everyone mute yourself, and we'll turn it to Lynn. So.
There you go. I was trying to put the words together in English, but I'll do it in the chat. I'm sorry not to have done that earlier after I've sung. So I'm going to sing a song out of Ilinfrich, a very Lewis song, a Lewis song. So it's in Scottish Gaelic, Falioro Magakshin. It's really a sailor's song about going over the Western Ocean, over the Atlantic, because from Britain, the Atlantic is to the west, obviously from here it's to the east. And it talks about the famous strong lads and the skipper shouting and getting back to Lewis, and there'll be a bottle and a Lewis song awaiting me when I get there. Excuse me. Falyara magakshin korsholari krainarda kilyangas a kliuchoch adoik nanarvial Falyara magakshin nam fakal arducha Arnolan Gwen Shiagain Gumbiakal Tavai Morgut Rama Pikat Sagiri Agagal Fayoro Magakshin Vaskippa Trevak sorry Vanaskippa Trevak Kika Koranaje Zalongeriaskrak Senshiaban Gabak Faliaro Magakshin Mayev Mishalos Fabiolavami Sharapi Abordan Leoran Magalik Falioro Magakshin Kuashulari Krainarda Kilyangasta Kliuchak Adoik Nanardion Falioro Magakshin Chinny. Thank you. Moran thank.
That was lovely. Lovely, lovely.
Absolutely.
All right. So I follow that. Okay. Thank you. No. Very good. Okay. So I unmute everybody. There we go. All right. This is one I first heard Dave Polachek do it, and we don't do justice to Dave Polachek's banjo because he's all we see is his head, but he has a 7-string banjo with extra strings on it to play these bass runs, which is really pretty cool. And I learned this one from David, but I looked it up in a book for folk songs from the Catskills. And it's called Erin's Green Shore, and it's a common theme in a lot of Irish songs. There's this beautiful, elusive woman that represents a unified and peaceful island that seems gorgeous and unattainable at the same time. And it's a sad song and a beautiful song called Erin's Green Shore. On a bright summer's evening I rambled along by a clear purling stream, down by the banks of primroses, where I quickly fell into a dream. I dreamed I saw a fair damsel, her equal I'd never seen before. She seemed to sigh for her country as she strayed along Erin's green shores. Her cheeks were like 2 blooming roses, teeth of an ivory so white. Eyes were like 2 sparkling diamonds, or a star on a cold winter's night. She was dressed in the riches of tiding, green was the mantle she wore, bound round with shamrocks and roses that growed along Erin's green shores. Modestly I stepped up to the fair maiden, boldly I asked her name. No, she was in the midst of great danger, or I would not have asked her the same. I'm the daughter of Daniel O'Connor, from England I've lately sailed o'er, come to warn my true brothers of the dangers along Erin's green shore. She was dressed in the riches of tiding, green was the mantle she wore, bound round with shamrocks and roses that growed along Erin's green shore. When I awoke from my slumber, found that it all but a dream, found that my dear one had left me, I longed to be slumbering again. May the great God of heaven direct her, I may never see her no more. May the great God of heaven protect her as she strays along Erin's green shore. She was dressed in the riches of tiding, green was the mantle she wore, bound round with shamrocks and roses that growed along Erin's Iron shore.
Oh, you've got the Irish melancholy, lad.
Oh, lovely.
Thanks.
Well, I knew.
Good one.
Thank you.
Wonderfully portrayed.
Thank you, David, for letting me borrow that one.
Belongs to everyone.
Absolutely.
Yeah, folk. Everyone
Ah.
should get folk.
Karen, is Karen there? Yes, Karen, it's all yours. I will mute everybody and then it's yours.
Okay. This is one of our favorite tunes. Instrumentally, it's called The Little Red-Haired Boy, and with words, it's called The Little Beggar Man. We haven't done this in a while, but we're going to do it anyway.
I am
The little beggar man, a begging I have been for 80 years in this little Isle of Green. I'm known from the Liffey down to Siku, known by the name of Old Johnny Do. Of all the trades a going there, the begging is the best. For when a man is tired, he can sit him down and rest. He can beg for his dinner and has nothing else to do, to slip around the corner with his old rigadoo. I slept in a barn in a little caravan. The night was shocking wet, but I slept until the dawn. Holes in the roof and the rain coming through, and the rats and the cats were all playing peekaboo. Who should then awaken but the woman of the house, with her white spotted apron and her fine gingham blouse. She began to sigh, and I said, boo, and don't be afraid, ma'am, it's only Johnny Do. I met a little girl while walking one day. Good morning, little flaxy-haired girl, I did say. Good morning, little beggar man, and how do you do with your rags and your tags and your old rigadoo? I'll buy a pair of leggings and a cocker and a tie and a nice young lady I'll be courting by and by. Buy a pair of goggles and I'll color them blue. Old-fashioned lady I will make her too. Over the road on the back, on me back. Oh, down the road with me heavy sack. Holes in my shoes and me toes are peeping through, singing skinnamarink-a-doodle and my old rummy-doo. I must be going to bed now, for it's getting late at night. The fire's all raked and out goes the light. For now you've heard the story of me old rigadoo. So good night and God be with you from old Johnny Do. We really messed that up, sorry.
That was great.
Yeah,
Great music.
a ragged folk song. Wonderful.
That's how you know it's real.
The genuine mistakes in it.
All right, that's very good, very good. All right, Tom, you're up next. Good
Absolutely.
everybody. Here we go. Boop. All right, all yours.
Exporting the Irish, of course, across the seas, from the beaches, and out to England, of course, more Irish in England than there are in Ireland. And from England, from the Hulks, down to the colonies. And of course, down there to Our Lady of the Angels, Wavell Heights, where in the Stedfords, Irish poetry with the nuns and the Christian brothers, always teaching us the rhythm and the cadence of the heritage that was green, always melancholy, always longing for something they could no longer see. And then where is the Irish in Austin? When there was a Fodor's Irish pub in Austin, I would read for Bloomsday. Everybody wanted to hear the parts where Molly Bloom was coming to the realization that her husband needed reminding that writing is not as important as living in the moment, which she did. We also read from a portrait of the artist as a young man, as well as the standard Ulysses in Finnegan's Wake. Better by far was Malvern Books, where the beloved wife of the owner cooked Irish stew, praties, all forms of Irish delicacies, meats and sweets, and we would eat first and listen in circles afterwards replete. Bloomsday awaits a renaissance in Little Irish Austin. All it takes is some bravery of all vaccinated to gather again, and for pubs and saloons and progressive independent bookstores to welcome them. Like W.B. Yeats only supported Irish independence when the groundswell lifted all boats, I have heard poems that stopped the violence, reciting the Rumi litanies, the Mary Olivers, the Nancy Willards, the Marge Piercy, the D.H. Lawrences. In fact, the repetition of such litanies saves our lives when contemporary wisdom is a talk show host and philosophy is banned from all curricula. I prefer Shams over Rumi, Socrates over Plato, Anonymous over Jesus, questioning, debate, rhetoric, declamations as lost skills. Browbeating replaces dialogue, accusations over agreement. The beauty of Irish poetry is diversity, and we do not have to agree. So go with your gods and battle rattle your certainties. I go another road, with hesitation and uncertainty, as Hermann Hesse and Heraclitus guides us. Once I met a woman who believed in Thomas Mann over Hermann Hesse. I protested. She replied, I slept with him. Don't be too impressed. He slept with everybody. Thanks for listening. True story.
Thank you, Tom.
Censorship is also Irish, isn't it? We don't talk about those things.
And every word true.
Yeah, that's the truth of it, especially the lies.
Excellent. All right, Mary Jane. Mary Jane, you're up next. Mute everybody. Mute up. Sorry, you need to unmute.
There we go. This one's called the Lily of the West, and it's sometimes called Flora, the Lily of the West, but this version is Malio, the Lily of the West. That sounds more Irish to me somehow. When first I came to Ireland, some pleasure there to find, I spied a damsel fair, most pleasing to my mind. Her rosy cheeks, her sparkling eyes, like arrows pierce my breast. They call her lovely Malio, the Lily of the West. One day as I was walking down by a shady grove, I spied a lord of high degree, conversing with my love. She sang her song delightfully, while I was sore oppressed, saying I've been a duke to Malio, the Lily of the West. I stepped up with my rapier and my dagger in my hand, and I dragged him from my false love and boldly bid him stand, being mad with desperation. I swore I'd pierce his breast. I was then deceived by Malio, the Lily of the West. it please. A flaw was in my indictment now, and that soon had me free. That beauty bride I did adore, the judge did her address. Now go, you faithless Molly, O, the lily of the West. Now that I've gained my liberty, roving I will go. I'll ramble through all Ireland and travel Scotland north. Though she thought to swear my life away, she still disturbs my rest. I still must style her Molly, O, the lily of the West.
Yay! Good one.
Ah, fab,
Job,
Mary
good job.
Jane. Brilliant. How many instruments were you playing at once?
Well, just two. The kazoo, it has a rack, so it's easy to play with a ukulele. This is a tenor
I'm just
ukulele.
wondering if you could use your feet as well, and do something with
That's
those.
Well, you couldn't see them though. The fun would be out of it.
only when he says raising money on street corners.
I'll think about it.
Good idea. All right, Vincent, over to you, sir. I'm going to mute everybody. Here we go. Boom. All right, all yours.
I don't know where I sang this song before. I don't think so, but anyway, we'll go for it. It's Dunlavin Green. It's from the 1798 rebellion, and the British. Sorry, they executed 36 people in the one day anyway. So here we go. In the year of 1798, a sorrowful tale that truth unto you I'll relate, of 36 heroes the world were left to be seen. By a false information, they were shot on Dunlavin Green. Bad luck to you, Saunders, for you did their lives betray. You said a parade would be held on that very day. Our drums they did rattle, our fifes they did sweetly play. Surrounded we were, and privately marched away. Quite easy they led us like prisoners through the town, to be shot on that plain where first we were forced kneel down. Such grief and such sorrow there never before was seen. As the blood ran in streams down the dikes of Dunlavin Green. There's a young Matty Farrell had plenty of cause to complain. Likewise, the two Duffys who were shot down on the plain. And a young Andy Ryan, his mother distracted will run for the loss of her darling, her own beloved eldest son. Now some of the boys through the hills, they are going away. Some of them were shot, but more of them are going to sea. Mickey Dwyer in the mountain, to Saunders he owes a spleen. For the loss of his brother, who was shot on Dunlavin Green. Bad luck to you, Saunders, bad luck may you never shun. May the widow's curse melt you like snow in the sun. May the cries of the orphans, their murmurs you cannot screen, for the loss of their fathers who were shot on Dunlavin Green. There we go. One more wee item there. I mentioned Michael Dwyer and the song there. And Michael Dwyer actually went to Australia. And according to records anyway, Michael Dwyer had the biggest funeral that was ever seen in Australia. Now, people may contradict me, but that's what I was told anyway. So.
Thank you, Vince. I don't remember. I could listen to Vincent all day long. Powerful song. Powerful. Powerful song.
Yes.
Thank you.
Oof. All right. That was great. David, you're up next. Mute everybody, then it's all yours.
I'm going to try one of my favorite Irish songs. It's called The Generous Lover. Oh, the first time I saw my love, happy was I. I knew not what love was, or how to deny. But I made too much freedom of my love's company, saying, my generous lover, you're welcome to me. All my friends and relations, they angry are all, because I have gone with you from my father's fine hall. But my friends and relations, let them all angry be. My generous lover, you're welcome to me. Oh, now, my dear darling, I must away. For now in this country I no longer can stay. But keep your mind easy and keep your heart free. Let no man be your sharer, my darling, but me. Now this poor pretty creature, she stood on the ground, with her cheeks white as ivory, and the tears flowing down, crying, Jimmy, dearest Jimmy, you're the first that e'er wooed me. And I'm sorry now I ever said you're welcome to me. Oh, happy's the girl that ne'er loved a man, and easy can tie up her narrow waistband. She is free from all sorrow and sad misery, who never said, my lover, you're welcome to me. So,
Good job. Good job. Mm-mm.
5 verses, but a whole story.
Very good. Excellent. All right. For any newcomers, this session goes for 3 hours, and even if it's just David and I left at the end, even if it's David left at the end, but so sometimes we get people come at the end, but more songs. The smaller the group, the more songs you get to sing. So there you go. So Art, it's your turn. I'm gonna mute everybody. Here we go. All right.
Will you gang to the Highlands, lazy Lindsay? Will you gang to the Highlands with me? Will you gang to the Highlands, lazy Lindsay? My bride and my darling to be. To gang to the Highlands we you, sir, would bring us all to mind. For I'm bound to the green fields and the woodlands and streams of my own country. Would you gang to the Highlands, lazy Lindsay? Will you gang to the Highlands with me? Will you gang to the Highlands, lazy Lindsay? My bride and my darling to be. I'll show you the red deer roaming, oh, mountains where wave the tall pine, and as far as the bound o' the red deer, hill, moorland, and mountain is mine. Will you gang to the Highlands, lazy Lindsay? Will you gang to the Highlands with me? Will you gang to the Highlands, lazy Lindsay? My pride and my darling to be. 1,000 claymores I can muster hilt, blade, and bearer the same. And when round their chieftain they rally, the gallant Argyle is my name. Will ye gang to the Highlands, lazy Lindsay? Will ye gang to the Highlands with me? Will ye gang to the Highlands, lazy Lindsay? My pride and my darling to be. There's dancing and joy in the Highlands. There's piping and gladness and glee. For Argyle has brought him Lazy Lindsay, his pride and his darling to be. Will ye gang to the Highlands, Lazy Lindsay? Will ye gang to the Highlands with me? Will ye gang to the Highlands, Lazy Lindsay? My pride and my darling to be. My pride and my darling to be.
Well done.
Scott is great songwriter. I only lived to 37, but put a lot in those short years. So. Very good. All right. Okay. It is. I'm reading my chat room at the same time. It's Lynn's turn, so I'm gonna mute everybody.
I'm going to give you a choice of songs, and you can tell me what you'd like me to sing. I'm learning a song about the Amazon, or the destruction of the Amazon, but it's not really a Celtic song. But I'd be very happy to sing it if anyone fancied hearing it. Or I can sing you a Gaelic lullaby, or I could sing you a song from Ireland by Sean McCarthy in English. What would you like?
Amazon's fine with me.
I am still learning it, so if I get stuck, I might have to abandon it and sing something else. All right. In the time it takes to sing the song, there'll be 4 acres cleared in the Amazon. In the time it takes me to sing you this song, there'll be 4 more acres cleared in the Amazon. The jungle burns through the night. They say you can see it from a satellite. The smoke so thick for miles around, they have to close the airports down. The green of the jungle turns to flaming red as another cattle ranch gets the go-ahead. Now hamburgers grow where the forest once stood. Somehow I get the feeling that we've all been fooled. In the time it takes to sing the song, there'll be 4 acres cleared in the Amazon. I heard a man on the TV say that if they take the forest away, the world will be ruined, our future will go. He's a Kayapo, so he should know. But this very same man still cuts down trees. For him it's a question of necessity. A family to feed, he must pay the rent. But when you add it all up, it doesn't make sense. In the time it takes to sing the song, there'll be 4 acres cleared in the Amazon. I heard about a man called Chico Mendes. He fought the cattle ranchers head to head. He taught the rubber tappers to stand up and fight, to protect the forest, to protect their rights. But the cattle ranchers had their say. They wouldn't let a counterfeitioner stand in their way. One night at his time home they took him unawares. 40 bullets in the back for Chico Mendes. The time it takes to sing the song, there'll be 4 acres cleared in the Amazon. The jungle burns all through the night. They say you can see it from a satellite. The smoke's so thick for miles around, they have to close the airports down. The green of the jungle turns to flaming red as another cattle ranch gets the go-ahead. Then hamburgers grow where the forest once stood. Somehow I get the feeling that we've all been fooled. The time it takes to sing the song, there'll be 4 acres cleared in the Amazon. Now hamburgers grow where the forest once stood. Another 20 years it might be gone for good. And the time it's taken me to sing you the song, there were 4 more acres cleared in the Amazon. Bruce Watson, my pal in Australia.
Very nice.
Thank you. A Zoom pal, another pal I've never met, but he's let me sing his song because it was very special to me. But you know,
Who wrote that song?
Want to be careful.
So who wrote that song?
Bruce Watson in Australia.
Okay.
Yeah, and
it's got a very catchy.
It's got a great lyric. If the lyric doesn't catch you, then you won't sing the song.
Yeah. Very clever.
Yeah, so I actually managed to have a floor spot on his concert a week or two back. So there I was live singing. So not only do I live sing with Doug 5,000 miles away, which you've heard, but I was live singing it for a concert 10,000 miles away. I mean, what's not to love, you know? Yeah. Zoom is so magical, you know. If only we could have Zoom without COVID, the world would be a better place.
Yes, if we could have this kind of global intimacy without COVID, it'd be great. But I mean, without Zoom has opened up opportunities globally, which is interesting. Anyway, thank you very much. That was a very great song. Now it's stuck in my head. All right, I think I'm up next, so I'm gonna mute everybody. A few years ago, I took with my Texan wife, I took my Texan, Scottish, Irish heritage mother-in-law, who was in her early 90s when we took her to Ireland for a week, which was more fun than I thought it was going to be, actually. Anyway, we went in June, so we had lots of daylight, after which she went to bed in the evening, so let's put it that way. And I got to sing this song with the session in an Irish pub in Killarney, and boy, they take those sessions seriously. The pub was packed with people. It's one that Tommy Macon wrote several years ago. Or he didn't write it; he sang it. It's at least 100 years old or more, but he made it popular. It's called "The Rocks of Bourne." Come, O ye loyal heroes, listen unto me. Don't hire with any farmer till you know what your work will be. You rise up early in the morning, from the clear daylight to the dawn, and you never will be able to plough the rocks of Bourne. My shoes, they are worn, and my stockings, they are thin. My heart is always trembling now for fear they might give in. My heart is always trembling now from clear daylight to the dawn. And I never will be able for to plough the rocks upon. Oh, rise up, gallant Sweeney, and get your horses hay, and give them a good feed of oats before they start away. Don't feed them on soft turnip sprigs that grow on your green lawn, or they never will be able for to plough the rocks upon. My curse upon you, Sweeney, you have me nearly robbed. You're sitting by the fireside now, your feet upon the hob. You're sitting by the fireside now, from clear daylight to the dawn, and you never will be able to plough the rocks upon. I wish the Queen of England would write to me in time and place me in some regiment all in my youth and prime. I'd fight for Ireland's glory now from clear daylight to the dawn, and I never would return again to plough the rocks of Born.
Good one.
Lovely, Stuart.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right. Moving right along, it is Karen. So, all
I
yours.
think I'm just at the listening mode at this point. I joined back in and I just want to hear everybody.
Okay. In
Okay,
that
thank
case, it is Mary Jane.
Yeah. Well, I was thinking if Lynn has to leave in 10 minutes and we know she has a couple of more songs up her sleeve, maybe we could let her do one of hers before I do mine.
I'm sorry, I missed that on the.
Oh, I was saying Lynn has a couple of more songs up her
Oh,
sleeve, and maybe I
yeah.
would be willing to wait and let her do another one
Okay,
before my turn.
I just caught up my multimedia experience here. Yeah, good idea. Thank you, Mary Jane. Lynn, please take it away.
That's very generous of you. Are you sure? All righty. Well, will I sing you a wee because my Irish song is quite long, so I'll maybe just sing you a short lullaby, a Gaelic lullaby. It just really talks about lulling the baby, but it's meant to be sung by a fairy who's found an abandoned child. And the last verse, I'm sorry I haven't posted it in the chat because I wasn't expecting that, but the last verse talks about a big, strong warrior with a claymore and a shield and everything going past yesterday. And the fairy says, and I hope your mother will not meet him. And we don't know why, the fairy doesn't want the mother to meet the warrior, and whether she knows him or not. But it's obviously a fragment of a very old song. I'll also finish by singing you a chorus of a slightly different version, because I like it because the tune is different, just for interest. Okay, so here you go. You might know the tune, you musicians, as Dream Angus, but it's a different song. Chonig mi siacad montaka sionje, Dania mor foin joch waje drein, le vas le hayat, le skias le kwayaf, smor mek o gundakar davarish. Halain yus gundalain yu, Halain yus gundalain yu, Jian kadar molanav smara kutyana, Echag mochria gundalain yu. Namulam hinu halain yu, Namulam hinu halain yu, Namulam hinu halain yu, Halain, halain, halain yu. Thank you very much.
Lovely.
Thank you. Just
You
before
have
I
a
go, I
voice
will
that-
post my links then, if I may. That's
Please.
kind, Stuart.
Please.
And I'll bring my pal, my partner in crime, my singing partner.
Okay.
Who I've never met from 5,000 miles, but we love singing together. So we'll both come back and sing for you. If
Thank
that's
you.
okay.
You have a
Thank
you
you for
have a
being
voice
so
that's very
welcoming.
you have a voice that's very easy on the air. I could your lullabies could put me to sleep. I mean, in a good way.
Sorry about that, but I thought you would like. It's quite short, but I'll put the links in, and then I better whiz. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Thank you very much, Mary Jane. It's over to you. Thanks for giving up your spot. Thank you. Oh,
I seem to be unmuted now. That's good. And this time I'm going to do another child ballad. This one's number 250, and they referred to it as traditional English, but it's Henry Martin, and I think the whole point of this is it's about a Scotsman, and the English are probably making fun of this guy. You know, isn't this just like a Scotsman to do something like this? But it's also a sea song. You've probably heard it before because I think Joan Baez recorded this one too. Henry Martin. There were three brothers in merry Scotland. In merry Scotland there were three, and they did cast lots which of them should go, should go, should go. And turned robber all on the salt sea. all the three, that he should turn robber all on the salt sea, the salt sea, the salt sea, for to maintain his two brothers and me. They had not been sailing but a long winter's night and a part of a short winter's day, when he espied a stout lofty ship, lofty ship, lofty ship, coming down on him straightway. Hello, hello, cried Henry Martin, what makes you sail so nigh? I'm a rich merchant ship bound for fair London town, London town, London town. Would you please for to let me pass by? Oh no, cried Henry Martin, this thing it never could be, for I have turned robber all on the salt sea, the salt sea, the salt sea, for to maintain my two brothers and me. Come lower your topsail and brail up your mizzen, and bring your ship under my lee, or I will give to you a full cannonball, 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 and your two bodies drown in the salt sea. Oh no, we won't lower our lofty topsail, nor bring our ship under your lee, and you shan't take from us our rich merchant goods, merchant goods, merchant goods, nor put our bold guns to the sea. And broadside, and at it they went for fully 2 hours or 3, till Henry Martin gave to them the death shot, the death shot, the death shot, and straight to the bottom went she. Bad news to old England came, bad news to fair London town. There's been a rich vessel and she's cast away, cast away, cast away, and all of her merry men drowned.
That was brilliant. Thank you, Mary Jane. And with that, I must go. Eikevaalev.
Thank you, Lynn. Thanks for sharing us with us.
Bye.
Excellent. All right, Vincent, you're up. I'm gonna mute everybody. Here we go. Boom. Okay, it's all yours. Yeah, you need to unmute. Need to unmute. There you go.
Here we go. One morning, May, when times were gay, serene, and pleasant was the weather, I spied a lass, and a very bonny lass. She was tipping the dew from off of the heather down the moor. And among the heather, o'er the moor, and through the heather, I spied a lass, and a very bonny lass. She was tipping the dew from off of the heather down the moor. Barefooted was she, and comely to see, and on her head neither cap nor feather. But the plaid hung neatly about her waist as she tipped it through the bloomin' heather down the moor. And among the heather, o'er the moor, and through the heather, the plaid hung neatly about her waist as she tipped it through the bloomin' heather down the moor. I stepped up to this fair maid, tell me your name, come tell me Heather. But she answered me down by the bonny burnside, sure I'm keeping all my eyes together down the moor. And among the heather, o'er the moor, and through the heather, and she answered me down by the bonny burnside, sure I'm keeping all my eyes together down the moor. I courted her that livelong day, my heart was as light as any feather, until the beams of the red set sun came a-shining down and among the heather down the moor. In and among the heather, o'er the moor, and through the heather, until the beams of the red set sun came a-shining down and among the heather down the moor. She said, young man, I must away, my eyes are straying from each other. But I'm as loath for to part wi' you as a bonny wee lambs are to part their mother down the moor. And among the heather, o'er the moor, and through the heather, but I'm as loath for to part wi' you as a bonny wee lambs are to part their mother down the moor. Then up she got and away she went, her name and place I could not gather. But if I was a king, I'd make her a queen, a bonny lass I met, and among the heather down the moor. In among the heather, o'er the moor, and through the heather, if I was a king, I'd make her the queen, a bonny lass I met, and among the heather down the moor. There we go.
Delightful.
Thank you. Thank you.
Great.
That's a livestock song, if I ever heard one. So. Excellent. All right.
Believe it or not, believe it or, believe it or not, I had lamb shanks tonight for my dinner.
There you go.
So there.
They brought it to mind. Okay, no. All right, David. Back to the top of the list again. Into the final hour. Yes. Oh, I will mute everybody. Just a minute, David. Sorry. Mute all. Here we go. All right, all yours.
Well, William Shakespeare is one of my favorite poets. And William Shakespeare wrote a number of sonnets that were published in 1609. And there's a lot of evidence, and I believe, that he never intended them to be published. That he wrote them in the main for a very close friend named the Earl of Southampton, who was much higher in the social order than Shakespeare was. And some of the poetry is about maybe he's losing this friendship or this patronage. Uh, this particular one, Sonnet 116, is very well known, but there's a line in it that is puzzling to most people. It says, the star to every wandering bark, whose worth's unknown, although his height be taken. And apparently this means that when you're looking at a sailing ship sitting at dock, you can measure the height of the mast and then figure out how heavy the cargo is, but you don't know what it's actually worth. And that might be a little dig at the Earl of Southampton, because this whole poem might be something where he's saying, you know, don't forget about me. And the tune I chose for it is an old Irish air called Donal Og. And Donal Og is a song also about somebody that's constant in their love on one side, maybe not on the other. Let me not to the marriage of true minds admit impediments. Love is not love, which alters when it alteration finds, or bends with the remover to remove. Oh no, it is a never fixed mark that looks on tempests and is never shaken. It is the star to every wandering bark, whose worth's unknown, although his height be taken. Love's not time's fool, though rosy lips and cheeks within his bending sickle's compass come. Love alters not with his brief hours and weeks, but bears it out even to the edge of doom. If this be error, and upon me proved, I never writ, nor no man ever loved.
But that really works well, that tune and that song.
Thank you.
Excellent work, excellent. And I learned something there.
Good, good.
I learned an exposition of a line I thought I knew, and I was like, hey, that's not what I thought at all. Something to think about. Excellent. Okay, Art, take us in next round, and I will mute all, and then there we go. Over to you. So you need to unmute. Sorry.
Try a fishing song from Cornwall.
Ever, bowsman, grab your nets and put to sea. Keep an eye upon the hewer and the haze. Bowsman, guide your crew, steer your oarsmen straight and true. Keep her safe, hold her steady as she sways. November brings the herring in, October brings the hake. The storms of winter keep us firm ashore. We'll be crabbing in the spring, hauling mackerel as we sing, and in summer we put pilchard into store. Row, boys, row, row again. against the tide, boys. Hear the hewer cry, boys, row. Row, boys, row. We'll catch them on the run, boys, row until you're done, boys, row. Empty baskets line the deck, the shoal is moving east. Our send boats form a circle with the net. The hewer's off to bake the welcome heather cake. Our load is full, our shirts are wet with sweat. The women folk will clean them all and stack them high and dry. Our cellars fill with salt and silver scales. Then our daily toil will be to press them for the oil, to see us through the winter storms and gales. Row, boys, row, row against the tide, boys. Hear the hewer cry, boys, row. Row, boys, row. We'll catch them on the run, boys, row until you're done, boys, row. And then we'll drink the health of Catholic folk, and to the Pope they can search the whole world over, pole to pole. May they all repent and extend their term of Lent, for there's nothing quite like pilchard for the saving of the soul. Row, boys, row, row against the tide, boys. Hear the hewer cry, boys, row. Row, boys, row. We'll catch them on the run, boys, row until you're done, boys, row.
Love it.
It never, the new one to me. Very nice.
Well, it is a new song. It was written about 10 years ago by a woman named Tanya Britton.
Ah, it's one of those songs that sounds like it was written in 1764. That was
Yeah, but it
1994
wasn't.
or something. There's a lot of those around. Excellent. All right. Well, we're down to the diehards now. So I may have to do a song I haven't really practiced, but not yet. Not yet. Let me mute everyone, and I will. Yeah. There we go. Okay, this is one that was I've done a couple of times. It was popularized by a band called Planksty with Andy Irvin and a few other and Christy Moore and it's an old song called "As I Roved Out." There's evidently that line, "As I roved out one bright May morning, one summer month." That's like a standard piece of folklore introduction in hundreds of songs. Just means it's springtime. And there's all kinds of things go on in springtime. Okay, here it goes. As I roved out one bright May morning to view the meadows and the flowers gay, when whom should I spy but my own true lover, as she sat under yon willow tree. I took off my hat and I did salute her. I did salute her most courageously. When she turned around, well, the tears fell from her, saying, "False young man, you have deluded me. For to delude you, how can that be, love? 'Tis from your body I am quite free. I'm as free from you as the unborn child is. and so are you, my dear, from me. A diamond ring I gave you, a diamond ring to wear on your right hand. But the vows you made, love, you went and broke them, and married the lassie that had the land. If I married the lassie that had the land, my love, it's that I'll rue till the day I die. When misfortune falls, sure no man can shun it. I was blindfolded, undenied. Now at nights when I go to my bed of slumber, the thoughts of my true love run in my mind. When I turned around to embrace my darling, instead of gold, short as brass I find. Do, 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 and I wish the Queen would call home her army from the West Indies, America and Spain, and every man to his wedded woman, in hopes that you and I will meet again. That's it.
Well done.
Art explained to me he plays with a group where the silent applause is the thing to do. So it's a, so we hear it loud and clear, Art. So it's cool. All right. Okay, whipping right around to Mary Jane one more time. So take it away.
How quickly these turns come. Okay, I'm going to do a song I've done before, but it's been a while. It was back in October, I think, the last time I did this song. So maybe you won't even remember that I ever did it. But I don't think anybody else has done it. So it should still be a fairly fresh for our Celtic song session. It's called Ca the Yos, or Call the Ewes, and it's a traditional Scottish song, kind of a love song. Ah, the Yos pay the nose, draw them whar the heather grows, draw them whar the burnie rose, my bonny dearie. When I went down the water side to see the fishes sweetly fly beneath the hazel spreading wide, and moon that shines so clearly. When I went down the water side dearie. Ah, the o's take the nose, draw them where the heather grows, draw them where the ferny rose, my bunny dearie. You will get gowns and ribbons made, and leather shoes upon your feet, and in my arms you'll lie and sleep, my bunny dearie. If you'll but stand to what you've said, I'll come with you, my bonny love, and you may roll me in your plaid, and I will be your dearie. Ah, the O's pay the nose, ah, them where the heather grows, ah, them where the ferny rose, my bonny dearie. As waters wimple to the sea, while day breaks in the sky so high, till clay cold death shall bleed my ear, I shall be thy dearie. Till clay cold death shall bleed my ear, I shall be thy dearie.
Very nice.
Say the title of that one again.
Well, thanks.
What's that one called?
Ca the O's.
Call the O's. The O's.
C-A apostrophe, and then the Yo's is Y-O-W-E-S.
Okay. Excellent. All right. We're all the way around to David. Vincent had to go. So it's all yours.
Okay. Well, Lynn's song about the fairies' lullaby got me to thinking about this one. In America, we tend to think of fairies in a very saccharine light, these delightful little sprites. But in the British Isles and Ireland, there's quite a dark side to human encounters with the fairies. It doesn't always go well, and this poem by John Keats is an example of that. It's called La Belle Dame Sans Merci, which in this context means the beautiful lady without mercy. And the tune I picked to set it to is a lovely Irish air called Valencia Harbor, also known as Aura Nalair. the knight at arms, alone and palely loitering. The sedge has withered from the lake, and no birds sing. Oh, what can ail thee, knight at arms, so haggard and so woebegone? The squirrel's granary is full, and the harvest's done. I see a lily on thy brow, with anguish moist and fever dew, and on thy cheeks a fading rose fast withereth too. I met a lady in the meads, full beautiful, a fairy's child. Her hair was long, her foot was light, and her eyes were wild. I made a garland for her head, and bracelets too, and fragrance on. She looked at me as she did love, and made sweet moan. I set her on my pacing steed, and nothing else all day long, for sidelong would she bend and sing a fairy song. She found me roots of relish sweet, and honey wild and manna-dew, and sure in language strange she said, I love thee true. She took me to her elfin grot, and there she wept and sighed full sore. And there I shut her wild, wild eyes with kisses for. And there she lulled me asleep, and then I dreamed of woe betide, the saddest dream I ever dreamt on the cold hillside. I saw pale kings and princes too, pale warriors, death pale were they all. They cried, La belle dame sans merci, at thee in thrall. I saw their starved lips in the gloam, with horrid warning gaped wide, and I awoke and found me here on the cold hillside. And this is why I sojourn here, alone and palely loitering, though the sedge is withered from the lake, and no birds sing.
That was lovely. What's that last tune associated with fairies?
The King of the Fairies.
King of the fairies. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. That was great. Art, it's all yours. And just gonna mute everybody.
David, that was wonderful. Absolutely wonderful.
Thank you, sir.
As I was a going over Gilgar Mountain, I met Colonel Farrell and his money he was counting. I rattled up my pistols and I drove out my rapier, saying, "Stand and deliver, for I am the bold deceiver, Musharingum Durham da." Whack for the daddy-o, whack for the daddy-o, there's whiskey in the jar. He counted out his money and it made a pretty penny. I put it in me pocket to take home to darling Jenny. She sighed and swore she loved me and never would deceive me. But the devil's in the women and they never can be easy. Mushering Durham da. Whack for the daddy-o, whack for the daddy-o, there's whiskey in the jar. I went into my chamber, all for to take a slumber, to dream of golden girls, and of course it was no wonder. Me Jenny took my charges, and she filled them up with water, then called on Colonel Farrell to get ready for the slaughter. Musharingum Durham da. Whack for the daddy-o, whack for the daddy-o, there's whiskey in the jar. Next morning early, afore I rose for travel, came a band of footmen and likewise Colonel Farrell. I goes to draw my pistols, for she'd stole away my rapier, but a prisoner I was taken, I couldn't shoot the water, my sharing on the room da. Whack for the daddy-o, whack for the daddy-o, there's whiskey in the jar. They put me into jail with the judge all a-writing, robbing Colonel Farrell on Gilgar Mountain. But they didn't take my fist, and I knocked the jailer down, and bid a fond farewell to this tight-fisted town, sharing Durham da. Whack for the daddy-o, whack for the daddy-o, there's whiskey in the jar. I'd like to find my brother, the one that's in the army. I don't know where he's stationed, in Cork or in Killarney. Together we'd go roaming o'er the mountains of Kilkenny, and I swear he'd treat me fairer than my darling sporting Jenny, sharing Durham da. Whack for the daddy-o, whack for the daddy-o, there's whiskey in the jar. Now some takes delight in the carriages a-rolling, and some takes delight in the hurling or the bowling, but I takes delight in the juice of the barley, in courting pretty maids in the morning, oh so early, sharing under for the daddy-o, whack for the daddy-o, there's whiskey in the jar.
Yay!
I heard someone a few years ago sing that song at that tempo, and to me, I like it better as a ballad than a drunken pub song. So, thank you for that. I do. I love that. Got more feeling in it. Now, I like a drunken pub song too. Don't get me wrong. But, all right. So it is I. That is, it is me. So here we go. I'm continuing. This is the third song of the day where we talk about lambs or ewes or yaws. And this is one of the first ones, probably. This is the broom of the cardinals. The broom is the yellow flower, which is a toxic weed, evidently, but flowers on mountains all across the Middle East, Northern Europe, and North America. I saw a bunch in Manitoba a few years ago. Anyway, it's about a love song that went bad. The tune shows up in 1650 in the Playford Dance Master booklet, and it's a child ballad about unrequited love, or love would maybe it's been requited, he's been punished for it. So, oh, the broom, the bonny, bonny broom, broom of the cotton house. Fain would I be in the old country, herding our father's yawl. Adieu, ye cotton house, adieu. Farewell, your pleasures there. To wander by her side again is all I crave or care. Oh, the broom, the bonny, bonny broom, the broom of the cotton house. Fain would I be in the old country, herding our father's yaws. How blithe was I each morning to see my love come o'er the hills. She skipped the burn and ran to me. I met her with good will. Oh, the broom, the bonny, bonny broom, broom of the cotton house. Fain would I be in the old country, herding our father's yaws. We neither herded yaws or lambs, or the flocks near us lay. She gathered in the sheep at night, and cheered me all of the day. Oh, the broom, the bonny, bonny broom, broom of the cotton house. Fain would I be in the old country, herding our father's yaws. She tuned her pipe and reed so sweet, the birds stood listening by, and even the dull kettle stood and gazed, charmed with a melody. Oh, the broom, the bonny, bonny broom, broom of the cotton house. Fain would I be in the old country, herding our father's yaws. Hard fate that I should banished be, gone way over hill and moor, because I love the fairest lass that ever yet was born. Oh, the broom, the bonny, bonny broom, broom of the cotton house. Fain would I be in the old country, herding our father's yaws. Sad but so true. So I hear. Anyway. All right. All right. We're back to David. I'm sorry, Mary Jane.
It's me.
I
Yeah, if I'm still here, I'm definitely going to do my song.
listened to you, and I ought to just cross out the names. Okay. We won't miss you next time. Take it away, Mary Jane.
Yes. Okay, I'm going to do a very sad song called Skibbereen. I've done it before. It's a traditional Irish song. It was on one of the Chieftain albums done by Sinead O'Connor. But I think my version has got an extra verse in it other than what she did. But I've always liked this song. Let's see, I better tighten because all right, now. Oh, Father dear, I oft times hear you talk of Erin's Isle. Her lofty scenes, her valleys green, her mountains rude and wild. They say it is a pretty place wherein a prince might dwell. Oh, why did you abandon it? The reason to be tell. Oh, son, I loved my native land with energy and pride. Till a blight came over all my crops, my sheep and cattle died. The rent and taxes were so high, I could not them redeem. And that's the cruel reason why I left old Skibbereen. Oh, well do I remember that bleak December day, when the landlord and the sheriff came to drive us all away. They set my roof on fire with their demon yellow spleen. And that's another reason why I left old Skibbereen. Your mother, to God rest her soul, fell on the snowy ground. She fainted in her anguish, seeing the desolation round. She never rose, but passed away from life to immortal dream. She found a quiet grave, me boy, in dear old Skibbereen. And you were only 2 years old, and feeble was your frame. I could not leave you with our friends, you bore your father's name. I wrapped you in my coat of war in the dead of night unseen. I heaved a sigh and said goodbye to dear old Skibbereen. Oh, Father dear, the day will come when vengeance loud will call, and we will rise with Erin's voice and beneath our flag of tree. And loud and high we'll raise the cry, revenge for Skibbereen.
Yay!
Good one, good one. Sad one, but good one.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, big famine city, town, Skibbereen village. David, it's yours.
Right. Well, this is another song about encounters with the good people, as they're called, the fairies. And this particular group was known for stealing brides right after they got married. And the poem by William Butler Yeats is called The Host of the Air. And the story is that a newly married husband encountered them stealing his bride, but didn't realize that's who they were. And they offered him food and drink, but his bride kept him from partaking, because if he had, he'd been away with them too. That's how the old song goes that he based this poem on. And the tune I picked is the old melody for the month of January. O'Driscoll drove with a song, the wild duck and the drake, from the tall and the tufted reeds of the drear Hart Lake. And he saw how the reeds grew dark at the coming of night tide, and dreamed of the long dim hair of Bridget, his bride. And he heard while he sang and dreamed a piper piping away, and never was piping so sad, never was piping so gay. And he saw young men and young girls who danced on a level place, and Bridget, his bride, among them with a sad and a gay face. Dancers crowded about him, many a sweet thing said, and a young man brought him red wine, and a young girl white bread. But Bridget drew him by the sleeve, away from the merry bands. Two old men playing at cards with a twinkling of ancient hands. The bread and the wine had a doom, for these were the host of the air. He sat and played in a dream of her long, dim hair. He played with the merry old and thought not of evil chance, until one bore Bridget his bride away from the merry dance. He bore her away in his arms, the handsomest young man there. And his neck and his breast and his arms were drowned in her long dim hair. O'Driscoll scattered the cards and out of his dream awoke. Old men and young girls were gone like a drifting smoke. But he heard high up in the air a piper piping away, and never was piping so sad, and never was piping so gay.
That's a great combo again, David. You got a few real gems there for the Smithsonian.
I've done about 30
Yes,
of these things so far.
you may have to wait 100 years, but they'll find it on some obscure website somewhere.
YouTube.
YouTube. All right, Art, why don't you give us a number?
Okay, well, we're getting towards the end, and no one has done the old dun cow yet. And this is a Celtic session, so I guess I'll do it. As you know, there's a time when someone has to shout McIntyre, and if they don't, the song stops. So I will count on someone in this group to unmute and allow the song to continue. I don't know how to play this, and so right now the guitar is simply a pitch pipe of rather large size. I'll start in C minor, and Lord knows where I'll finish. Some friends and I in a public house were playing dominoes one night. When into the room the barman came, his face all chalky white. "What's up?" said Brown. "Have you seen a ghost? Have you seen your Aunt Maria?" "Me Aunt Maria be buggered," said he. "The bleeding pub's on fire." "On fire," said Brown. "What a bit of luck. Everybody follow me. It's down to the cellar. If the fire's not there, we'll have a rare old spree." So we all went down with good old Brown. The booze we could not miss, and we hadn't been there 5 minutes or more till we were all half pissed. And there was Brown upside down, licking up the whiskey off the floor. "Booze, booze," the firemen cried as they came a-knocking at the door. "Oh, don't let 'em in till it's all mopped up." Somebody shouted, "McIntyre."
McIntyre!
And we all got blue, blind, paralytic drunk when the old dun cow caught fire. Then Smith went over to the port wine tub, gave it a few hard knocks, started taking off his pantaloons, likewise his shoes and socks. "Hold on," says Brown, "we can't have that. You can't do that in here. Don't go washing your trotters in the port wine tub when
when we've got all this light beer. And there was a brown upside down, licking up the whiskey off the floor. Booze, booze, the firemen cried as they came a knocking at the door. Oh, don't let 'em in till it's all mopped up. Somebody shouted McIntyre.
McIntyre!
And we all got blue, blind, paralytic drunk when the old dun cow caught fire. And then there came from the old back door the vicar of the local church. And when he saw drunken ways, he began to scream and curse. You drunken sods, you heathen clods, you've taken to a drunken spree. Why, you drank up all the Benedictine wine, and you didn't save a drop for me. And there was a brown upside down, licking up the whiskey off the floor. Booze, booze, the firemen cried as they came a knocking at the door. Oh, don't let 'em in till it's all mopped up. Somebody shouted McIntyre.
McIntyre!
And we all got blue, blind, paralytic drunk when the old dun cow caught fire. Late that night, when the fire was out, we came up from the cellar below. Our pub was burned, our booze was drunk, our heads was hanging low. Oh, look, says Brown as he checked his watch by the light of the dying fire. Now we gotta get down to Clancy's bar. It closes on the hour. And there was the Brown upside down, licking up the whiskey off the floor. Booze, booze, the firemen cried as they came a knocking at the door. Oh, don't let 'em in till it's all mopped up. Somebody shouted McIntyre.
McIntyre!
And we all got blue, blind, paralytic drunk when the old dun cow caught fire.
Huzzah!
Yay!
I think
Yay!
Art gets the prize for the best song of the day.
And I think it's best sung unaccompanied anyway.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to make an executive decision because that was such a good song. I was going to do a really depressing song afterwards, and it would not be appropriate. But I think this is the time where we should just finish up. If there are any announcements, failing that, we'll do the parting glass. And that's such a. I've never listened to the words till you sang that today, Art. It's a really funny ass song.
Great one, great one.
My dog's singing the High Lonesome in the back here, so it's she's saying wrap it up, wrap it up. So let's do the parting glass, and thank you all for coming, for you diehards, and first Sundays, third Sunday, and every Saturday. Zoom continues.
Yay!
So David, take it away, please.
Oh, all the money that e'er I had, I spent it in good company. And all the harm that I ever did, alas, it was to none but me. And all I've done for want of wit, to memory now I can't recall. So fill to me the parting glass. Good night and joy be with you all. Oh, if I had money enough to spend and leisure time to sit a while, There is a fair maid in this town who sorely has my heart beguiled. Her rosy cheek and ruby lip, I own she has my heart enthralled. So fill to me the parting glass, good night and joy be with you all. Oh, all the comrades that e'er I had, they're sorry for my going away. And all the sweethearts I ever knew, they'd wish me one more day to stay. But since it falls unto my lot that I should rise and you should not, I'll gently rise and I'll softly call, good night and joy be with you all. I'll softly rise and I'll gently call, good night and joy be with you all. Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
everybody.
You.
Thank you all.
Thank
Great
you.
session.
Happy July the 4th.
Yes. See some of you next Saturday.
All
God willing.
right.
Take care. Bye-bye.
So long.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye. Here we go. The power invested in me now says